Welcome into the Week 3 recap. As always, we will start with redraft. Just a note on redraft. This week was the 7th highest scoring set of 1-week games in league history. So not including the 2-week games like your championships and stuff. Just the 1-week games. 7th highest scoring totally of 1-week games in league history. So we will start off with those games. No pun intended. 3-0 defeats the Red Carpets 0-3, 134.04 to 120.96. No pun intended propels to 3-0 after knocking off the Red Carpets. This was done on the back of Davante Adams, who rallied for an impressive 172 yards, 9 first downs, and 2 trips to the end zone in the Raiders' Sunday night loss to the Steelers. No pun intended also remains unbeaten against the Red Carpets all time, this being their second win in 2 attempts. The Stoners, 2-1, defeat Washington Rednecks 0-3, 163.48 to 127.68. The Stoners came out firing and score the highest clip of the week with over 163 points. Raheem Mostert leads the way with only 82 yards on the ground, but an astonishingly finding pay dirt 4 times in the Dolphins' 70-point rout of the Broncos. Kenneth Walker also had a day, nearing the 30-point mark in the late window on Sunday. The Stoners remain unbeaten against the Washington Rednecks in their 2 matchups all time. Steel Curtain 3-0 defeats Bills Mafia 1-2, 160.6 to 76.18. Talk about a blowout. Steel Curtain gets a breeze of a game, destroying Bills Mafia by over 80 points. As you probably guessed, Bills Mafia was heavily banged up. Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, and Cooper Kupp were the inactives for Bills Mafia this week, leading to a starting running back duo of Elijah Dotson and Chuba Hubbard. Steel Curtain showed no mercy and still cracked the 160-point mark. Of 1-week contests, this game was the 4th biggest blowout in league history and the biggest in the last 3 years. We'd have to go back to 2020 Week 4 when No Pun Intended beat the Washington Rednecks by 95.11 points to find our most recent blowout bigger than this game. Scoob the Delinquent 2-1 defeats Gumpy Glizzies 2-1, 132.36 to 125.14. Scoob the Delinquent uses Monday Night Football to their advantage, finally getting a respectable total from Jamar Chase to surpass Dallas Goedert and Gumpy Glizzies. Tua Tagovailoa was the star, though, racking up nearly 30 fantasy points even after being benched before the third quarter ended. In the 14 all-time contests between these 2 rivals, Scoob the Delinquent holds a steady lead with 10 wins and 4 losses. Leftist Tears 2-1 defeats Nico's League 0-3, 131.14 to 110.04. It was a close one on Monday night, until it wasn't. A Mike Evans touchdown takes the lead, and Leftist Tears never looks back, adding more touchdowns from Jalen Hurts and Joe Mixon to cap the night and the week. In the 16 all-time games played between these 2 storied franchises, Leftist Tears holds a solid 11-5 lead. Our Week 4 redraft power rankings, as always starting from the bottom, not moving from last week, Nico's League. At number 9, not moving, the Red Carpets. At number 8, staying put, the Stoners. At number 7, moving down 3 spots, Bills Mafia. At number 6, moving up 1 spot, no pun intended. At number 5, moving down 1 spot, the Washington Rednecks. At number 4, moving up 2 spots, Steel Curtain. At number 3, staying put, Leftist Tears. At number 2, not moving, Scoob the Delinquent. And remaining in the number 1 spot, Gumpy Glizzies. Our Week 4 redraft game of the week is Gumpy Glizzies 2-1 versus the Stoners 2-1. Gumpy Glizzies will have a tough task ahead of them against a hot Stoners team, but with Dak Prescott playing against Mac Jones, a high-scoring game in Dallas could be a savior for Gump. We move on to Dynasty. Stratton Oakmont Inc. 2-1 defeats Comer Dynasty 2-1, 186.36 to 98.42. On the topic of routes, this one takes the cake. We don't have official long-term stats on Dynasty quite yet, but this certainly may be the biggest 1-week blowout the league has ever seen. Stratton Oakmont Inc. owes it mostly to Raheem Mostert, whose 4-touchdown game adds up to more fantasy points than Comer Dynasty's entire team combined, excluding Jefferson, Madison, and Allen. Wow. Nico's Dream Team 2-0 defeats Sneezy Raccoon 74 1-2, 134.48 to 126.14. Nico's Dream Team avoids a potential statement game from Puka Nacua and holds on to secure the victory over Sneezy Raccoon 74. This one will hurt for Sneezy Raccoon 74, as replacing Trevor Lawrence with Tua Tagovailoa would have won the game, or replacing literally anyone with Devon Achane would have done the same. They will look to move back to 500 on the season against Prestige Worldwide next week. I Am They 1-2 defeats Gump Dynasty 2-1, 167.64 to 161.7. With just 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the entire week, Tutu Atwell gets the look from the 1 yard line to score a walk-off touchdown and give I Am They their first win of the season. Not only the first win of the season for I Am They, but surely the biggest upset in the league so far this year. I Am They looked down and out, but they will continue an unprecedented winning streak next week against Stratton Oakmont Inc. Prestige Worldwide 2-1 defeats the Scoop Empire 0-3, 116.72 to 107.2. This game was a close one until the very end. It took a Mike Evans touchdown to send Prestige Worldwide over the edge, only to fall back due to 2 Matthew Stafford interceptions. Kenneth Gainwell and Devontae Smith couldn't pull through for the Scoop Empire, and Matthew Stafford racked up enough points in the final 5 minutes to put the game away. The Scoop Empire will hope to capture their first win of the season against Nico's Dream Team next week. In our Week 4 Dynasty Power Rankings, starting from the bottom, not moving, at number 8, I Am They. At number 7, not moving, Nico's Dream Team. At number 6, moving down 2 spots, the Scoop Empire. At number 5, moving up 1 spot, Prestige Worldwide. At number 4, moving up 1 spot, Stratton Oakmont Inc. At number 3, staying put, Sneezy Raccoon 74. At number 2, moving down 1 spot, Cumber Dynasty. And at number 1, moving up 1 spot to claim the number 1 spot, Gump Dynasty. Our Week 4 game of the week in Dynasty is Cumber Dynasty 2-1 versus Gump Dynasty 2-1. This battle of the two powerhouses of the league could be a preview of this year's championship. They are both coming off of brutal losses, though, and we'll see which one of them prevails to jump to 3-1. All right, thanks for listening. We will move into the Idle League. So we all know that fantasy football is stupid, and it makes everyone want to beat their head against a brick wall when the second lowest scoring team of the week comes out with a victory. Congrats to Red Riders, as it took them playing an absolute dud of a squad to win their first game of the season. The United States Postal Service continues delivering, this time to the tune of 186.12 points. The worst outcome of this game, though, is Bucknuts, who moves to 0-3 despite having scored more total points than Ease Savages this season, who is somehow 3-0. Slower Ponies finally tallies a win at the expense of Influence Driving. Influence Driving also loses Mike Williams to a season-ending injury, and would be a clear shot for last-place punishment if there weren't other teams in the league that suck worse even without injuries. Ease Savages beats Show Them TDs in a close one that basically came down to Devontae Adams versus Justin Jefferson. Not many other guys on these two teams look crazy promising, though. And Chad's personal shop vac might just walk on water tomorrow with the miracles that have already occurred. They beat the Fudge Packers in a close one, but that's not the craziest story. Chad's personal shop vac's bench scored 129.6 points. Even crazier, their bench did not have a QB on it. That means their bench would have defeated 4 of the 9 other teams in the league had they played on their own. And what makes that even more impressive is that the bench is only 8 players deep, whereas everyone else would have had 10 total starters. Surely this is not sustainable for Chad's personal shop vac. And our Week 4 Idle League Power Rankings, starting at the bottom, not moving, Death. At number 9, not moving, Red Riders. At number 8, not moving, Influence Driving. At number 7, moving down 1 spot, the Fudge Packers. At number 6, moving up 1 spot, the United States Postal Service. At number 5, moving down 2 spots, Ease Savages. At number 4, staying put, Bucknuts. At number 3, moving up 2 spots, Slower Ponies. At number 2, moving down 1 spot, Show Them TDs. And our newly occupied number 1 spot, moving up 1 spot to gain it, Chad's personal shop vac. This is where we would normally do the Week 4 game of the week, but as I would like to remind all of you, Week 4 is our first 50-50 week. So this means the top 5 scorers of the week will get a win, the bottom 5 will get a loss. So no one can luck their way into a win week 4 like Red Riders did in week 3. All right, that'll do it for the week 3 recap, and we will see everyone in week 4.